Hi! Are you thinking about learning about wine but don't know the first thing about it? Don't even know what wine to start? Should it be white? Should it be red? Should it be sweet? Should it be dry? This is just the episode for you. Hi and welcome to winemastery.co.uk. My name is John Lightfoot and this is...
John Murphy.
And we're here to tell you all about wine, hopefully help you find the wine, if not the wines, that you will absolutely love. In this episode, we're going to try and answer a very difficult question posed to us by Neverbound, one of our viewers, who messaged, commented to us, basically saying, I've not tried wine, which wine do I start with? So, I mean, that is such an open question. It rather sort of flummoxed me because, you know, do you start with white, do you start with rosé, do you start with red? Where do you start? Now, my inclination would be, John, to say to start with white because it's not quite as overpowering maybe to someone as red.
Yeah, definitely. Start with what the thing is. It's such a minefield, and it's such a personal, as we've spoken about many times. It's so subjective what people might like. So Netherbound, what I would probably go. And hopefully you do have an independent wine retailer where you are. I don't know where you are. But that's your best place to start anyway. If you get under there and then speak to the.
From memory, I think Netherbound was from New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand, so you're bound to have some. Get in there and ask them. Personally, I would get you started on something very light, very easy, like a Pinot Grigio, because they are so light and they're not, you know, the modern ones don't really veer off into any clear style. So that would be a nice one to get you started on in the whites.
One thing I've just thought of is that it maybe depends on your palate, because if you like sweet, if you're sweet or you're savoury, maybe if you like sweet, you're better to start with a sweeter wine.
Yeah. Well, true. In that case, go for some of the German wines. A lot of the German wine. A good trick for you is to look at the back of the bottle. The lower the alcohol, the sweeter the wine is going to be. So that might be a nice start in there as well. But then you might be at a place where your taste buds are ready for the red wines to go. So if you're going for a red wine, have a look for a Cabernet Sauvignon, because that's the most fruit driven of all the grapes. So that might be a nice, easy place for them to start that way. And then if you build up a little rapport with whoever is working in the shop, they can hopefully then, if you went back and said that it's too weak, I can't taste anything, or I want to taste more, and then they can hopefully recommend more bottles for you and take you, work your taste buds, so to speak, and take you on a little journey. That's what we do in the shop.
Yeah, I guess the other thing is if someone is actually just starting with reds, sometimes would it be sort of beneficial for them to start with something like a Beaujolais or a Gamay grape or a Pinot Noir? So it's not full body, so they can just get sort of like the beginning of the feel.
Yeah. And again, some of those red wines you can actually chill as well, so very raspberry-ish, very almost juicy and soft drink-like. So that again will get the taste buds warmed and started. If you have the option, get yourself off to a wine tasting. There should be plenty. Again, if you've got an independent retailer, see if you can get to a little tasting.
I wonder whether because we're very lucky in the UK, we import wine from all over the world, but a lot of wine producing areas, like New Zealand, tend to obviously their shops tend to focus on their own wines, don't they? So they don't always have the sort of global choice that we're lucky enough to have in the UK.
No.
But yeah, I suppose if you look for it, you're going to find it.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe even in New Zealand, I think they do produce sweeter wines, don't they?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they do, yeah. Yeah, they will do.
And I think we've even reviewed a Pinot Noir from New Zealand.
Oh, yeah, we've definitely done a Pinot Noir.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just get out there. I would recommend that your local independents before you start, going into the supermarkets or buying online, because they will have much better idea of what your palate... if you tell them you might like X, Y, and Z for other drinks, then they'll say, right, well, let's try this. Just wander on in, I'm sure they'll be glad to help you.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the advantage, is that you go back to them and say, I like this about the wine you recommended, I didn't like this, and they're going to be able to. And then in the end, they're going to be able to lead you to exactly where you are.
Of course, yeah.
Excellent. Well, we hope that answered the question, Neverbound. If you've got any other queries, of course, just comment on this video. We'll be pleased to get back to you. So that's a very quick one from us. If you've got any questions you'd like to put to us, we may well end up exactly doing the same for you and producing a video to answer your question. Because if you're asking it, there's bound to be a lot of other people wanting to ask exactly the same question. And there is no silly question.
No. Even if you think it's silly, just go for it. We'll
Absolutely.
promise not to laugh.
There's nothing absolutely. The questions I was asking you. Is wine wet?
But I did laugh. Yeah.
It is louty. So until the next time, guys. Really, really enjoyed this one. If you enjoyed this video as well, then give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, we'll see you there. Chin chin.
Chin chin.